What's good, guys? The road ahead dropped yesterday, and it's been a bit of an explosion in the middle of the community, hasn't it? Quite frankly, I've seen Reddit and Facebook and the Discord servers going crazy about the bad news. So much so that the good things that were announced have kind of just completely been overlooked. I've sat and watched the video. Let me switch screen real quick. For those of you that haven't seen the video, I've sat and watched this through from start to finish, really kind of try and get their side of things before I kind of give my opinion on stuff. And I've also, you know, because a lot of the news wasn't even mentioned in the actual in the block of text, so the video had a few other little tidbits that were all right. They were quite cool. There's a few things I'm excited for, quite a few things that I'm not remotely excited for, but yeah, we'll cover the stuff. Obviously, first and foremost, they've announced a new ship, the Executor, that's actually led by Admiral Piet, which I'm quite happy for. I like my Empire characters, and it's based around the bounty hunters, basically, as you can see by the requirements and stuff. And from what I can see, this new Journey Guide Fleet Mastery, whatever it's called, is essentially a Galactic Legends ship. So I expect it to be quite overpowered and essentially be the new meta. I mean, let's face it, the Negotiator and Malevolence have been meta forever now. Yes, you can counter them with some of the other fleets, but they are still the meta primary fleets that are in use, hence the term meta. It's about time something happened there, because it has been pretty boring, but it's a shame that being a bounty hunter fleet, the Houndstooth is probably still going to remain on top of the mantle, which it has been forever. No matter how many ships they bring in, you've only got to look at SWGOH to see that the Houndstooth is still the primary use ship when it comes to negotiated fleet. It just holds a little bit better. It's self-cleansing, therefore against Malevolence, it's going to get off its own thermal detonators and stuff, which the Y-Wing doesn't do. The Y-Wing's a lot easier to beat. But yeah, I mean, look at the requirements, man. Relic 7 Vader, that's all fine. I mean, a lot of us have done that anyway. I have that myself. Relic 8 Piet, don't have that one. That's a little bit rough. Relic 8 Boba Fett. Yikes, man. Come on. Boba's not even a great character. His kit is horribly dated. He's incredibly soft. I'm not looking forward to that in the slightest. Relic 5 TIE Fighter Pilot. I actually started fiddling around with TIE recently because I just like Empire, quite frankly. Boss, yeah, a lot of people have that anyway. IG-88, the people that have really invested in their Malevolence fleet will probably have that. And Dengar, yikes. And then, yeah, the ships required to begin the event. The Razor Crest, I have that myself. Slave 1, yeah, I mean, I've got all those, so none of that's particularly painful. Obviously, I don't have 7-star Razor Crest yet, but it won't take me too long to get. Yeah, am I excited? Sort of. Fleet's needed some new stuff. It's needed a workaround, and the bounty hunters have needed an actual leader. So yeah, cool. Will I get it straight away? No. Looking at these requirements, it's just more bloat for my GAC that I can't particularly use on anything high end. So yeah, you know, it's kind of like that. I'm getting a little bit fed up with all the trash that I'm having to develop for Galactic Legends that I can't then even use. Yeah. But yeah, it's nice to see something happening with Fleet, at least. I'm a big Fleet player. I love Fleet. I'm excited to see something happening in that regard. Next, Darth Maul, or not even Darth Maul, he's just Maul now. He's lost his Sith tag and stuff like that. He's coming to Conquest, which I already called the second they announced Commander Ahsoka Tano was coming to Conquest. It made total sense to me that Season 7 Maul would follow after her, so that's exactly what is happening. The video mentioned a few other little tidbits. I did make some notes somewhere. He's an unaligned Force user, which is quite cool. He's no longer Sith tagged, and he can lead Mandalorians, which is quite sweet because the Mandos don't really have anything that gives them any oomph right now. They're in the game, cool. Love Mandalorians, wanted the tag forever, but they're kind of mediocre as heck, right? They're not a great faction. They don't really interest me. I've not even got around to building them up, despite the fact I love Mandalorians. I've still got my Canderous built up from way back. My Bo-Katan's had no love. My armor is still sat at gear 8. Just haven't worked on them because they've never had anything that puts them in the forefront of the game, or really given them a great use. They kind of beat some C-tier stuff, which I don't need help doing. So, yeah, I'm hoping Maul gives them kind of a push more towards the front line of the game, although I don't expect him to be a total game changer for them still, but at least if they can beat something decent would be nice. Then the obvious one that everybody, even Stevie Wonder, saw this coming, Galactic Legend Lord Vader, fully expected. I said this way back. I figured he would come with Kenobi, ended up coming afterwards. And some of the first requirements have been dropped. We got Hunter, which, I mean, Hunter Tech Wrecker, that's just painful, man. I mean, what, he had like 4-episode arc or something with Bad Batch. This just feels like a money grab more than actually anything that makes sense. That said, Sith Marauder was used for Palp, despite no connection whatsoever. So I can't really say I'm shocked. It's what I feared more than kind of. I'm not, you know. My fears became reality rather than being surprised here, if you know what I mean. Tusken Raider, I already predicted that. Padme, I already predicted that. I did a prediction video on Lord Vader way back, so and also General Skywalker was an obvious one, although sadly they've nerfed him a little bit, so Relic 8 might hurt a little in that regard. And a bunch of new stuff for Conquest, which kind of I don't get massively excited until I see it, you know, until I see how it actually plays. Conquest can be a little bit finicky with all the modifiers and stuff that goes on, so I will just wait and see in that regard before I really criticize anything there. The big news, the one that's kind of getting everyone going crazy right now, is the nerfs, quite frankly, and that is exactly what they are. I understand their thought process in this. They want to bring a balance to the game, giving them more wiggle room to create new characters, new kits, new raids, new content in general. But what they are is huge nerfs, quite frankly. They're doing defense changes because a lot of characters can just ignore defense, and it makes it very easy to kill big characters like thick tanks and Galactic Legends and stuff. So Darth Vader is one of them that's being absolutely obliterated. General Skywalker, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, and then Wat Tambor as well. I mean, these changes, I mean, you probably just see from my reaction right now, these changes are going to destroy the kind of thing that my channel was originally built around, that is countering the big stuff with the old stuff that us free-to-play players have. And I really fear these changes are just destroying the game for new players. I mean, if you're going to come into the game now on a new shard, Wales are going to have Galactic Legend like that. Okay, you can pretty much just buy all the gear you need. You can buy relic packs. You can get everything you need in order to relic a character and get a Galactic Legend quick. Everybody else is having to go like the Padme route and all that kind of stuff, kind of build up their roster and try and fight back while developing towards their first Galactic Legend. And that said, a lot of Galactic Legends, to counter other Galactic Legends, make use of the likes of Darth Revan and General Skywalker and stuff to be relevant against the newer Galactic Legends. And these characters have just been taken out in regards of being useful. I really fear now it's a case of Galactic Legend versus Galactic Legend, which makes me quite fearful for Grand Arena. I think a lot of people are just going to have to keep all your Galactic Legends for offense in case your opponent sets them for defense, at which case he's, you know, it's just going to be such a gamble now. It really is going to be a gamble. I'm very, very fearful of these changes. And more so for the free-to-play players that are early to mid-game and having to deal with Galactic Legends. It's just... I mean, they've made some changes previously that have tried to help them catch up, and now this change just opens that gap immensely. And there's also other changes that have been made towards how characters behave in raids and stuff. Bastila, Malak, Grievous, more General Skywalker related stuff. Although, while it says, you know, raid boss changes and stuff, some of these aren't. Some of these are also towards Galactic Legends. For example, that one. And the big one that stood out was Fracture. Okay, you can't fracture raid bosses, and and Galactic Legends now. So what purpose does Thrawn even have anymore? Anyone rushing to get Thrawn at the start is totally wasting their time, because Thrawn kind of just fractures old stuff now. You know, that's... Okay, I got around a pop-up. That's just... Wow, that's crazy. One of the easiest ways to beat Rey, obviously, right now is to fracture her, get all your other stuff going, keep her still while you're reducing all those max healths down, those health pools down to yellow, not triggering her big AoEs that are wiping your team out. Wow, yeah, sorry, not happening. So many scary changes. There's a few things done to Galactic Legends as well, but I mean the big one is that the things you use to anti-meta counter characters are no longer doable. So you just need a Galactic Legend. I really fear that this is going to have a horrific backlash. And once again, it's just CG painting themselves in a corner the way they've done with Speed in the past. And then they went and they kind of rectified that with some of their upcoming changes, and then they went and made Galactic Legends like 560 speed. So it's like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. You know, you can't complain about a problem, sort of fix it, and then break it worse than it was to begin with. And I fear that's what's going to happen here. They're making these changes to kind of fix a problem of the new toys being quite easily counterable. But their new characters are going to come out with bigger things than this anyway to make them marketable in order for you to part with your money. So, I don't know, man. We've seen so many things like this happen, haven't we, quite frankly, and it's just disappointing. Obviously, it remains to be seen how these changes actually play out in the game, so I try not to just go overboard and throw baby rages about these things, but I'm not hopeful, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not. And I guess we'll see when this change comes in about a month's time. I believe they said it will be. So, yeah, scary stuff. There were a few other things they mentioned in the video that aren't actually listed anywhere in this. Relic 9 is coming in August. I feared this when we saw that teaser for Relic 9 in some previous screenshots. I kind of said I was very, very worried it would happen around August, and I was hoping it wouldn't happen till December, but sure enough, it's happening in August. So yeah, that's just an even wider gap now. You can't counter stuff, and all the whales have got Relic 9 straight away. I mean, I still got one Relic 8. I've got the stuff for multiple Relic 8s. I just can't afford to just destroy all the gear, like 7 pieces of gear, in order to get one Relic 8, when I've got so many other things to develop to try and catch up, which now they've gone and kind of undone a bunch of them. So what's the other news? I've got it written here somewhere. Blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, there's a community versus CG Speed Grand Arena coming. They said it's like prominent community members. That said, let's face it, the most prominent community members aren't exactly in favor with capital games, so it remains to be seen who gets an invite in that regard. My suspicion, it'll be the podcasts that they're friendly with, that they release a lot of trickled information through. I don't really see it being the likes of me and Arnold and Cub and stuff like that. Obviously, before Galactic Legends, me and Scalturix were the top banner, top record-winning game changers of all the game changers. There were some other creators that obviously were right up there, but I believe in the actual game changers, it was just us. One or two of the podcast guys might have been up there too. I think Ranger maybe as well. But now the community is a lot bigger with the Game Changer program dying. There's a lot of other guys around that are good at Grand Arena, although the Grand Arena has become very Galactic Legend based, and so obviously those of us with less have had a bit more of an uphill battle using anti-meta stuff, which can kind of go wrong at times, and now will definitely go wrong. So yeah, I don't know, guys, I don't know. Yeah, there's some cool stuff been announced in this that I'm excited about. Lord Vader, my favorite character in all of Star Wars, awesome. But these changes have me very, very fearful for people like me that are not in a position to spend huge sums of money. I am that one content creator you guys have that is in a very similar position to you. Yeah. kind of lost for words. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. I think if anybody is in your shoes right now, it's this content creator right here. And yeah, I just don't have words. I'm not going to delay this video anymore, guys. I'm pretty scared for the game. I am. The new stuff that's going to come out in the spots of the things that they've just nerfed, it's going to be behind paywalls and stuff anyway, so... But hopefully this means, I mean, those raid boss changes, hopefully that means we got a new raid coming at least, right? Hopefully. Because the current raids are all pretty dead anyway, unless you're in a really low guild. But, yeah. Alright, I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Till then, we out of here.